So, I visited Liberia for the first time in over a decade. We was there to purchase land and start multiple businesses. We have so much to cover, okay? So, we're going to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, before we get started, I want you to know that this is a safe space. You are now part of the McGill's family. And as a member of the family, I believe that I'm entitled to speak my mind freely without judgment. Okay? So let's get started. Now, before visiting Liberia, I did a lot of research. I watched countless YouTube videos because I wanted to be well prepared when I arrived in Liberia, so there's no surprises. Warning, always, always do your research before you invest in anything, especially investing in Africa. Always do your research. These are the people that I follow on YouTube to learn more about Liberia before I visited Liberia. Okay, so this list is in no particular order. Okay, so number one is She Speaks To. I believe that she's a registered nurse in the USA, but she live in Liberia right now. Okay, um, so before coming to Liberia, I watched a bunch of videos from her, and I was able to discover what medication to bring with me to Liberia, the shots that I need to take, and also the yellow fever book also too. She also provide useful information about housekeeping and security also too. So definitely follow her on YouTube. She Speaks To. All right. So number two is my girl Muna J. All right. So if you want to learn how to build on a budget in Liberia, you need to follow her. She's very smart with her money and she keeps it real. She breaks everything down from the cost, how to interact with these people in Liberia, and how to avoid being scammed in Liberia. Okay, so you need to follow her. That's my girl, Muna J, and she's on YouTube also. Number three is Piso Mathis. Now, this lady, man, I'm telling you, she have so much useful information from the Wi-Fi carriers in Liberia to the type of water you need to drink in Liberia, um, putting up a water tank. You want to drill a well. You want to know what type of security she's using in Liberia. If you want to discover new stores in Liberia, for appliances, building materials. I'm talking about everything. She covered everything in Liberia. So you need to follow her. And the good thing is that she also lives in Liberia. So that made things a whole lot better. Okay. So you need to follow her on YouTube also. Number four is Liberia to the world. Man, these guys, they're killing it. If you want to learn about what sector to invest in, if you want to purchase real estate in Liberia, right? If you want to know the different sectors to invest in, these guys cover everything in Liberia and they are killing it. They're doing a very good job. And I think that they were probably the first people that I actually start to follow on YouTube to gain more information about Liberia. Okay. And I believe also they're building a community or maybe multiple communities in Liberia. So if you're into, buying houses in Liberia, save you the headache of trying to build one or being scammed by your own people or strangers, talk to these guys. Liberia to the world. These guys are freaking awesome. Okay, last but not least, it's my boy, Emmanuel Y. Kortu. All right. Now, Emmanuel, if I pronounce your name wrong, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Okay. But you're the reason why I want to visit every county in Liberia. I admire your struggle and how you thrive to show us Liberia, the good, the bad, the ugly. You are very consistent with your post, and I appreciate your struggle and your hard work. Emmanuel, thank you. Okay, so our journey. We traveled with United Airlines, but the airline was operated by Brussels. Okay, and we flew out of Dulles International Airport in Virginia. And when we got there, TSA was pretty smooth, no issues at all. We traveled with our American passports and a Liberian passport, and everything was smooth from the airport. After clearing TSA, we went to the Capital One Lounge. I believe it's upstairs. So the food was free. The drink was very strong, and we was there for about 1 hour. I do believe that in order for you to access the lounge, you must have the Venture X credit card. You will be allowed into the lounge, and you can sit and eat as much as you want. The food is good, and the drink is strong. Okay, so we was there for about 1 hour plus, no rush. We had some fun, and then me and my partner, we left to board the flight to Liberia. We stopped in Brussels, from Brussels to Sierra Leone, and then finally landed in Liberia. When we finally landed in Liberia and I stepped foot off that plane, man, it felt so good. It felt so good. Like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I felt peace, calm, like I belong here. This is my mother's land. This is home. I'm not a black man. I'm just a man in Liberia, my homeland, my mother's land. And this is something that you have to experience for yourself. I'm telling you. And the best way that I can describe it is that I felt at peace. That's the best way that I can describe it. And it is something that you have to experience for yourself. My immigration experience. So, we got off the plane and we're walking through the terminal going to immigration. It was two other Caucasian males in front of me, right? These guys went ahead, gave their passport to the immigration officer. She looked at it, stamped the passport, gave it back. They kept it moving. I, a Liberian citizen, arrived at the same immigration officer. I handed her my passport. She looked at my passport, took it, and held onto it. And then she said, where my small tina? I need my co-water money. So in my mind, I'm thinking, this must be a joke or something. I mean, the old man Chrissy. I'm telling you. And in that moment, I felt like I heard my girl Mona J in my head saying, "Don't let people take advantage of you." So I leaned forward and I said, "Excuse me, yo, what? What?" And this lady just looked at me, giving back my passport, and said, "Thank you," after she stamped my passport. But it's crazy. You have two non-citizen. You stamp their passport. They didn't ask for anything. The man from Liberia, my homeland, my country. You want to charge me, or you need me to give you some kind of money for you to stamp my passport. My man, I'm telling you, the people in there, and I ain't saying that country though. They're not easy. I'm telling you. But anyway, she stamped my passport, give it back to me, and I kept it pushing. So that was my experience with immigration, right? So after we clear immigration, I'm walking towards the baggage claim area. And on my way there, I'm praying, oh God, please let my luggage be there. Not only was I praying for my luggage to be there, I was praying that nothing was missing or stolen from my luggage. And behold, what do you know? I arrived, I waited. In less than 2, 3 minutes, I saw my luggage coming across the belt. I grabbed my suitcase, I looked at it, and what do you know? Nothing was missing. Not even a temper, okay? Everything was intact. Nothing was missing. And I was like, oh God, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Joseph Boaka. All right. I know y'all made some changes over there. So on that part, everything was good until we got outside to get into the vehicle. That's a whole different ball game. When we got outside, boy, the airport, right? We met with family members who came to pick us up. But as soon as we got outside with the luggages, a bunch of guys just came from everywhere. Oh, Papi, let me help you. Oh man, let me help you. Papi, let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you. And then this one dude was just like, y'all leading, y'all leading, y'all leading. Let my people in there, yeah. Let my people in there, yeah. Let my people in there, yeah. Let me help them. My man, let me help you, y'all. Let me help you. And then I'm looking like, what the hell? So you have a bunch of people just grabbing onto your luggage and you don't even know these people, right? In the name of trying to help you. And I'm sure I can almost guarantee 99% of those people who was trying to help do not work at the airport. I strongly believe that. So in this whole chaos and people trying to grab my luggage, the officer in me kicked in. So I went into defensive mode. Luckily for us, our family member was able to find us and then intervene quickly to disperse these guys. Okay. But they came in, it was like, we got this, we're good. You guys can go ahead and step off. And that's how this whole thing just seized down and they walked off. But just imagine, this is your first time in Liberia and you have nobody at the airport to pick you up. Maybe you're catching a cab or something. And you have all these, whatever you want to call them, people just grabbing onto your luggage. Imagine the fear, especially if you are a female, right? So that was one thing that I did not like at the airport. But I will say this, I was very impressed with the airport. I think it was clean. It looked very good. It looked nice. And I was very impressed. Everything looks good. After our family member upload all the stuff into the vehicle and we drove off, right? About 100 yards, right, from the airport building itself. Everything just went pitch black. And I was like, man, how we go from this bright area to just complete darkness within 100 yards? That was crazy. But at the same time, too, I wasn't surprised at all. So, like I said, I did my research. I was like, it is what it is. It's Liberia. And we kept it pushing. Our mission to Liberia. What was the mission? And let me start by saying that this was not a vacation. It was a business trip. And we had 21 days to complete everything. 21 days. So, in 21 days, we had to register to business, collect business documents, meet with the Ministry of Justice, get a police clearance, um, conduct land research, right? Purchase land, probate the land, well, survey, probate the land, um, register the land in the archive. What else? What else? Oh yes, we also had to conduct business analysis in Liberia. So 21 days to complete everything. Register to business, collect business documents, purchase land, survey the land, probate the land, register the land, put the land in archive, all the good stuff that you need to do to secure a property. And then we had to meet with the Ministry of Justice. We had to get a police clearance and collect a bunch of business documents, all within 21 days in Liberia, right? So we was humping, okay, and pushing it. By the grace of God, we were able to complete about 95% of our goal, right, in Liberia. 95%. So we purchased 2 acres of land in Carisburg, right on the main road, right? Um, we surveyed the land, and our lawyer started the process to put the land to the archive and all that good stuff, probate, things like that. Um, we met with the Ministry of Justice. We did our police clearance, and we also did our fingerprints and all that good stuff. Something else, I'm forgetting something else. Um, oh yeah, almost forgot, right? We were also able to purchase 40 acres of land, also too, right? 40 acres. So this was definitely a good accomplishment, right? 40 acres of farmland, and man, it is freaking beautiful out there, right? So 95% of the goal was completed. We also achieved a lot more, right? But at this time, I'm not able to discuss these things with you right now. But um, as time go by and when I have the freedom or the authority to disclose these things to you, I will. But for now, I can't say. But when the time comes, you will be the first one to know. Okay? Trust me. You're a family, right? I got you. Why did we succeed in Liberia with just 21 days? Okay. We succeeded because we pre-planned everything. Before we left the United States, we planned everything. Every single day in Liberia was accounted for, right? And also, we had a lawyer that we hired before coming to Liberia, right? And when we arrived, she showed up on time. She picked the phone up, right? She did her job, and she did her job very well. So she was part of the reason why we was able to succeed in Liberia. What did I like about Liberia, right? So I have a list, and I'm gonna go down this list. I like the fact that Liberians are very resilient people. Okay. Liberians have endured so much hardship, but yet they remain hopeful, right? Um, I like the fact that Liberia Constitution empowers the people of Liberia. Next, the beautiful beaches. Liberia have miles and miles of coastline, just beautiful coastline. Okay, the beaches are gorgeous. You have to see this. Okay. Um, Next is tropical rainforest. I believe Liberia have don't I believe so. Liberia have the largest rainforest in West Africa. Could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Okay. And next, I like the fact that the climate is warm in Liberia. All right. Year round, the climate is warm. Now, if you go to maybe like Nimba, like up in the mountain, Yekipau, these places, it might get a little bit cold, but apart from that, it's always warm in Liberia. Next is that warm hospitality, right? Liberians are the most welcoming people in Africa. I don't care where you're from, Liberians are the most welcoming people in Africa. Liberians are very friendly, especially to foreigners. And sometimes that angered me, but I guess that's what we are, right? Strong community. Liberia has a very strong community. For example, if you're walking by, right, and somebody is cooking or they're eating, they would definitely invite you to eat with them. They support each other. Okay. Now, we might be a little bit crazy, but we do have a strong community in Liberia. Um, I remember when I was there, we once we got done, stuffing ourselves, we was trying to burn some calories. So we went to the store, got a football, and then we went to somebody else's house to play because they had a big yard. And all the kids from everywhere came to play with us. Now, mind you, this is a house that we don't know, right? We have no idea who the owner is. So the owner came home and he did not even ask, oh, why are you guys here? Get off my property. You're trespassing, X, Y, and Z. Nothing. We played, and when we was done, We left. We left the football with the kids, and when they got done, they brought the football over to us. They did not try to steal it. It wasn't no fuss, no fight, nothing. And we had a lot of fun, right? For me, that's part of community, and I appreciate that about Liberia. Next is the diverse ethnic group in Liberia and the tradition, right? I love the Liberian music, okay? Especially, especially, don't hurt me, okay? Especially that Bassa music, right? I believe that Bassa people have a very good like that language when they sing in Bassa is very, very good. I like it. Also love my music because of course my grandfather is from Lofa County, so I'm Loma, okay? Loma music is also good too, right? So I would say Loma music and Bassa music. And I don't know. Nimba also. Now that might be prejudice because my mom is from Nimba County. My grandfather is from Lofa County, right? But I believe Bassa, Nimba, and Lofa have good music, okay? And tradition also too. I love that culture dance. Next is history and identity, right? The first African Republic, founded in 1847. All right. I love the history of Liberia. We have a very rich history, and we should never, ever lose that. And the flag and the motto. I also like that about Liberia. The love of liberty brought us here. I love that. Okay. Last but not least, the food. Now, I do not care what part of the continent you're from. I do not care what part of the world you are from. Liberia, Liberia, Lib. Liberia have the best food across the whole universe. I don't care where you're from. And don't even give me the whole Nigerian and jollof rice and X, Y, and Z. No, 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 no. My Liberian people, us, we get the best food in Liberia. Okay, my favorite food, cassava leaf with red oil. Okay, cassava leaf with red oil, like my favorite food there. Let me tell you, with a dry meat. Oh man, and then tabosoye. Not tabosoye when you put it on the rest. Then you use your hand, then the meat, then the water dripping down your hand. My man, I need some food right now. I'm hungry. Golly, just thinking about this, man. I need some food. But tabasoye, right? That's one of my favorite too. Palava sauce, potato grains, palm butter. Man, so many good food from Liberia. Jollof rice and Senegal, nah. Not Ghana, nah. Niger- Nigeria, go, 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 go for back. Go for back. Um, who else? Nobody. Nobody. Liberians make the best jollof rice. Hands down. Okay? No question asked. But I love my Liberian food. Okay? Don't try me. Don't play with me. I will stab you for some Liberian food. But those are the things that I'd appreciate about Liberia. Okay, so we're gonna go down the list of things that I dislike about Liberia. Number one, I hate when people say, "Oh, la Liberia or the high looking." I hate that with a passion, right? That mentality is unacceptable, right? So pretty much you're telling me that if the country is corrupt, right? If people are being abused, poor government, what else? Corruptions, all these things. You're telling me that you're okay with it because this is Liberia. That's how things are. That also tells me that you're also corrupt, right? So that mindset needs to change. The Liberia, the higher looking, the higher thing looking, maybe not change the Liberia. No, this is Liberia. That's true, but things can definitely change. Number two is jungle justice. Um, man, I'm tired of seeing videos of people killing each other online and for something small, right? Somebody steal, I'm not sure, $5, whatever, and you kill that person on the street because of $5 or a chicken, whatever. That person's life, yes, they, you know, there might be a thief, but the person's life is worth more than $5. The person's life is worth more than a motorbike, okay? Than a motorbike. You cannot kill somebody. You cannot take the law into your own hands. That's the reason why we have a justice system in Liberia, right? So that needs to change. All right. Next is the traffic in Liberia, right? Monrovia is too congested, very congested in Liberia, and every time I leave the place I was staying and I go in town, when I come back, I always felt sick because of all the gas fumes in the air. Okay, so people need to move outside of Monrovia. Liberia is a big country. Okay, we need to spread out. What's the next one? Overwork and underpaid. Right. I believe that Liberia need a minimum wage, especially for Liberian citizen. Liberia need a minimum wage because people are being overworked, especially those that work for these foreigners. They're being mistreated. They're being underpaid. So the government needs to at least create a minimum wage that states that the least you can pay this person is X amount of money, and that amount needs to be enough to at least put a roof over this person's head and also to help them feed themselves or their family. Okay, so we need a minimum wage law in Liberia if we don't have one already, but I'm not too sure. So somebody please in the comment section down below, right? Let me know if we do or if we don't. Um, Next is trash. Trash everywhere. And the poor drainage system that we have. Plastic bags everywhere. I think that we should ban plastic bags in Liberia, right? But one of the biggest things is that the fact that people are allowed to build over waterways, right? Over drainage system. That should not be allowed. I was in the capital city, Monrovia, and there was this big building. This I believe it was a building material store. These people build this high rise building over the drainage system, and every time it rains, the area floods. Every time it rains. Now you got this business here making thousands of dollars in Liberia, And the government cannot force them to fix the drainage system that their building is over. At minimum, they should be required to fix that, right? Create another path for their water to go somewhere else. So we need to work on the trash, right? We need a trash system, collection system in Liberia. And we also need to stop people from building over wetland during the system. And we need to get control of plastic in Liberia. So those are my dislike about Liberia when I was there for my visit. One thing that concerns me about Liberia is the fact that why do we feel like we all have to live in Monrovia, in Montserrat County, right? There's so many other places to live, right? You can go to Nimba, Grand Cape Mount, you can go to Grand Basso, you can go to Bong County, right? McGill. But personally, my favorite is Bong County, right? I love the fact that within 2 hours, right, you can reach any major city in Liberia, right? And I believe Bond County is also central in Liberia also. So imagine that you are a farmer, right? And you need to get your crops to any major city. Within 2 hours or less, you can reach Monrovia, you can reach Nimba, you can reach um, Grand Cape Mount, Mount Gibi, and you will be able to reach every single major city in those county within 2 hours or less, right? So, and Bond County is also beautiful. The landscape is gorgeous, right? So that's where I'm looking right now, Bond County. Full disclosure, this trip was taken in August of 2024. Okay. I'm sorry that it took so long to post, but I've been busy trying to prepare my family, trying to build a foundation here, while trying to also build in Liberia also too. Okay. But I promise from now on, I will post videos at least once a week. Okay. Once a week. That's the goal. And then slowly progress into 2 or 3 times a week. That's the plan, right? But I promise to share my journey with you to Liberia, to share my investment, right? And how I was able to manage to register these business in Liberia, okay? And to all my Liberians living abroad, United States, Canada, Australia, wheresoever, we need to invest in Liberia. Things are changing fast. The whole world right now, apart from those that live on the continent of Africa, the whole world is trying or fighting for Africa right now. Okay? Africa is the future. Don't let nobody else tell you different. Africa is the future. Liberia is changing. Liberia is on the rise. Okay? So come home and invest. And if you don't want to invest, buy a piece of land, get yourself a farm, right? Build a house, because one day you will come back home. I don't care what you say, one day you will come back home. And Africa is the future. Believe me. If you made it this far and find any value in this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I thank you for watching and sharing your time with me. Until next time, stay blessed. God bless Africa.